Hello everybody, and Friday, end of the week. I'm doing this video a little bit earlier than usual because I've got to go out of town to look at some waste for a company who's got a yard what's to be cleared, which it won't be in a video out, it's just my day-to-day job. So, I've got the crazy story. A man has put a dead body in a fridge and sent it into a skip company, and I'll tell you, in this video, it is really good stuff. I've got stuff from the police, I've got stuff from the forensics. So watch it all the way to the end and you'll see what sentence the man's got. So he's just been sentenced. That's all been done now. His court case is over. So that's why I've done the story today and I didn't do it at the time because obviously you have to go careful because you can be done for, interfering, in cases and God knows what. So I stay away from it. When things are in the public newspapers and that, then I start looking at stuff and finding footage for you lot to watch so you don't have to scroll through the internet looking for shit. Right, so Damian Johnson, this man behind me, 53 years old, from somewhere on the Coventry area, because that's where this case is. I think the flat might have been in Birmingham, but around that sort of area, the Midlands of the UK. Lived with his friend, and he was his carer. So the older man, 71, he was called Mr. Wainwright, he died, and then his mate went out and bought a fridge freezer the day he died and stuck him in it. That's where it gets crazy. And you might say, well, why has this got anything to do with skips and stuff? Well, he got arrested for something else. This is after years of the man being dead and living in the freezer. He got arrested for something else. I presume he got remanded. It doesn't say that, but he was kicked out the flat one way or the other. He was out the flat. A couple of weeks later, there's some real bad smells coming because obviously the electric will be turned off. And the council, I think it was Coventry Council, potentially, don't know, that might not be exactly right, but one of a council body, or they've sent a subcontractor in to pick some waste up, and they've took the fridge freezer because obviously it's stinking, and they've took it to a skip company and they've found a dead body, and then that's where this story all will start. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of context on how they actually found the dead body, because in this full documentary you're going to watch in a minute, they don't mention how the freezer was actually, found. And it was because the man who actually lived in the flat had been locked up by, it says he was arrested on other matters, so I ain't got a clue what that was. But his jail sentence is absolutely crazy. You're not going to believe the jail sentence he got for sticking his mate in the freezer. The police did believe that it was a murder. I mean, I don't know, whatever. I've got no way to tell if it was or wasn't. But anyway, enjoy the video, and I will see you all soon. Have a good weekend, and I'll try and get some more stuff for next week.
Police emergency.
Hiya, I'm phoning from Budget Skip Services. We received a load of waste in, and there was a freezer as part of the load. It looks like there's a decomposed body inside.
Someone's died and the body has been concealed. Who would do that? Why?
A search of the skipyard records shows that the freezer was dropped off by a council removal team.
Obviously, the freezer had defrosted. The body had been removed, so all that is left is a body, which would indicate that it's been there for some time. Any sort of evidence that's there, you don't want to miss it. You want to get everything that you can to get justice for the person.
Detectives have been trying to track down the last resident of the flat, where the freezer was removed from.
The tenancy was in the name of John Wainwright. Yeah. He was the sole occupant, although it does say that he'd be living at the address with Damian, his son.
A search of police records reveals that officers attended the flat 9 months ago, after reports of a disturbance. Damian opened the door.
Hello, sir.
I want to go through the body cam just to get an idea of how he reacted towards officers.
Can we come in and have a chat instead of talking out here? Because we're going to have to come in. You don't have to come in, actually. Relax. Wait.
This is my home. I'm asking you to leave. I am asking you to leave.
Relax.
He's worried about, God, if they start looking around this flat, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Brandon from Pear Tree. Just to let you know, we've got one en route from Royal Derby on suspicion of murder.
In the neighbouring county of Derbyshire, homicide detectives have located key suspect.
Right then, Damien, before we commence with the interview, is there anything you want to
Yes, Damien's asked me to read out a prepared statement. I have known John Wainwright for 27 years. Throughout that time, he has acted as a father figure to me. John Wainwright suffered from dementia, and I was his registered carer from 2015 onwards. John Wainwright passed away from natural causes in September 2018. When I discovered the body, I was overcome by grief. Without thinking rationally, I put his body in the freezer. I think I was just not ready to let him go. The more time that passed, the worse it got, and I couldn't bring myself to report it to the authorities. I did not harm him in any way or play any role in causing his death.
Damien's admission means John Wainwright's body was concealed in the freezer not for 9 months, as police thought, but for nearly 2 years. The prints on the lid are photographed and digitally enhanced so that they can be analysed by the Fingerprint Bureau. Fingerprint expert Claire Lynch will compare the print to those taken from John Wainwright at the post-mortem.
We can discount the deceased for this print just based on these 2 points not being in the same, in the correct position.
None of the fingerprints that we had on the inside of the freezer lid belonged to the deceased. We have to assume he was put into that freezer when he was dead.
Detectives continuing to investigate Damien's relationship with John have now accessed details of John's finances.
A lot of small transactions, £15, £20, etc. A great portion of these transactions have come from one of the newsagents just round the corner from where Damien would still have been living at that time. There's a total of over £17,000.
Although Damien referred to his relationship with John as father and son, he didn't actually have any rights to John's money or any of his belongings.
This is the computerised record for the purchase of the chest freezer. The freezer was ordered on the 25th of September. Alarmingly, that would coincide to when the Facebook entries are made, when Damien's saying that John's died. That freezer was purchased on the 25th of September. That's the same day John's died. I'll tell you that there's a motive for that report.
There isn't, no.
There is?
There isn't.
Damien doesn't seem to have any job or income. He had a lifestyle with John. He had his carer's allowance, and he appears to have just continued in that.
With all forensic examinations completed, the pathologist meets with the police forensic team to review his conclusions on John's cause of death.
Within the limits of what we've had to work with, major findings of note are he has fractured right cheekbone, he has fracturing of his nose more to the right side. The further work on those show that they could be caused by some sort of heavy fall. Cause of death unascertained. I mean, it'll probably never be ascertained.
It is frustrating, but it's not always possible to say how that person has died. We're looking at these 2 years down the line, and when there's a delay, it's a lot trickier for us. At the end of the day, you can't go for a murder charge when you haven't got the evidence in front of you.